newcomers projecting a hologram of myself all the way to E3. Watch out, gaming industry! A criminal deviant with a messiah complex in the body of an 800-pound gorilla wants to play games with apes in them! And he's doing it as a ghost!
Fuck Sakurai! Fuck Smash Brothers! Fuck Daisy! Fuck Ridley! Nah, just messing. This is the Kongversation. It's not the DK Vine Forum circa 2007. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I'm Mitchell Wolfe.
Mitchell?
Yep.
Today was a day in our lives, and it...
That much is correct.
Yes, I'm trying to be completely factual on this episode of the Kongversation, which is hard to do when you're at E3, because you're in the E3 bubble.
Yeah.
So you at home know a lot more than we do. We've been trying to play catch-up since we got back from the show floor. But I can say definitively that Nintendo had their Direct today.
They absolutely did. It featured Super Smash Brothers, which is now called Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Right.
These are all facts.
These are facts.
None of them can be undone. None of them can be contested.
Unless through time travel, but only Back to the Future time travel. If this is the predetermined, fulfilling your own destiny paradox time travel, it's already been done.
Right.
So we actually will get to Nintendo in just a small moment. Yesterday, we actually had two big DKU announcements and shenanigans. So, I feel like we need to actually address them first. They do relate to Nintendo, both of them, so it's apropos to talk about them in the Nintendo episode, but it actually concerns both Playtonic and Rabbids, the Donkey Kong Adventure DLC. So, first things first, let's get to that. Now, I was not expecting an announcement, if I'm going to be grammatically correct, and if anything, I should be grammatically correct. There was Limited Run Games.
Yeah, Limited Run Games is not one of the major players at E3, I think it's fair to say. But they did have an E3 presentation stream that they've done. Kind of like Devolver Digital. It's just mainly a parody of a press conference, but also like Devolver Digital this year. They did have real announcements. Tons of them, actually. Yeah. One of them happened to be the announcement of a limited run production of Switch physical cartridges for Yooka-Laylee.
And considering I just bought Yooka-Laylee the other week, this is
Switch.
Great timing for me.
For the second time you bought it.
Yeah, so it'll be a third time for me, and it'll be extremely limited. So I'll have to fight other people when it goes live on our website. Now, do they do pre-orders? How does it work? I've never engaged with them. I've never had a dance with limited run games.
So they do and they don't.
Oh, okay. Good night, everybody.
This has been the Kongversation. They have they have a system of letting you know exactly what time ahead of time something will go live.
So their website will crash when everybody tries to converge on that time.
I mean, they've done it hundreds of times.
Okay, so their website has crashed hundreds of times.
They've done well. They've done all right. And you can go, and it's in August. I don't know if they've set a date specifically, but they did say the month of August. And that will be presumably the only way to get a physical version of Yooka-Laylee on Switch. This is
surprising though. This is cool that it's coming and it's there for those who absolutely need to have a physical copy, which is me. I'll admit it. But this also seems to be Playtonic's only big announcement this E3. Of course, they're not physically here at E3, so we knew something was coming as far as some sort of Playtonic announcement. This is not really what I was expecting, but it does open up the possibility, Mitch, that the purported Yooka DLC will then launch around this time in August.
Right.
I mean, that's just an educated guess.
The idea is that the cartridges they put out would be better cartridges if they had the DLC on them as well.
Right.
And this is around the time that they've been saying we can start to think to look out for Yooka DLC. So It would make sense if this cartridge that they put out is like a complete version of Yooka-Laylee. That would be great. I would prefer that because these days you can't save to your cartridges and game discs. So basically, any DLC or patches that come out are obsolete if your console dies and you use a different console and still have your old cartridge. You still need to download all those patches. And in 20 years, the infrastructure online for Switch will probably not be there anymore.
Because it's Nintendo.
Because it's Nintendo. Well, no, I think Nintendo does a pretty good job. Like, their Wii stuff lasted a really long time.
And the Just Dance is coming out for it.
The Just Dance is still... Yeah, the Wii still has new releases. Yeah, but you know, video games, this is a problem for all video games. They're so dependent on the console they run on that...
I think Xbox is getting away from it. I think Xbox is very forward-thinking now.
Well, PC has been getting away with it for very good reasons for a while now, and Xbox is kind of following suit in that direction. But yeah, this is a good thing. I feel like the physical Nintendo version of this game, I mean... Not to throw shade at any other versions of this game. If you have them, you have the game. It's not like a different game. But the physical Nintendo version of this game is, in my mind at least, like the ideal of what was originally pitched here. Like, this is the spiritual successor to the Nintendo-housed Banjo-Kazooie games. Here you go. Just like you had the other Banjo-Kazooie games on Nintendo 64. Even on cartridge instead of discs, which is fun. But there's only going to be a couple thousand of them, though. So, like, really, if you're listening to this right now and you want to be part of the exclusive club that has this game on cartridge, you got to act fast. You got to know what's up. You should probably follow Limited Run on Twitter.
Godzilla Guy 92 is in our live stream chat right now. I've been saying his name quite a bit because he's usually there. He's usually in the live stream chat. So hi, Godzilla Guy 92. I heard from someone on the forum earlier. He says, Godzilla Guy 92, that they only produce as many copies as they receive pre-orders. If you pre-order it, you'll get it.
So that's not exactly the case. Well, it may be the case. I don't actually know which style of ordering they do. They do that sometimes. But other times they just do a set number run. Like, they will do... they'll say, okay, this game, 5,000. And that's it. It depends on how much backing from, like, the game's original publisher or whatever they have... It could go either way. If you know something for sure that I don't right now, like if they've said this is the way they're choosing to do it, then I'm off base. But different games of theirs have had different strategies.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be vicious if we all have to like fight each other. If like Limited Run Games throws a sharpened stick into the pit and is like fight to the death for this one copy of Yooka-Laylee on the Switch.
Yeah. What's good, though, is that they don't... You'd think that a company like this would maybe overcharge for, like, the limited rarity that it is, and they don't. They charge pretty much what it is on digital, plus maybe, like, physical at-cost expenses.
That's for the scalpers to do after the fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, I mean... We had this argument, not argument, debate, friendly spirited debate after the fact. You said, would this physical version of Yooka-Laylee on a Switch therefore be the rarest DKU game? And I said that would probably be It's Mr. Pants. If we're just putting up physical copies against each other, It's Mr. Pants would still probably come out as slightly rarer than this.
You think that there are fewer than 10,000 copies of It's Mr. Pants in the world?
I forget what the run on it was, but it was pretty small.
10,000 is very small.
Yeah, but that sounds about right for It's Mr. Pants. I could be completely mistaken.
Okay.
But, yeah, so... But in any case, it's not like you can't play Yooka for the Switch. It is readily downloadable. Mr. Pants was confined to the GBA cartridge, so if we really want to split hairs. Mr. Pants would still be extremely rare.
It'll be between this and that, though. This will be up there for the most rare DKU game, and we usually don't have knowledge that something's going to be rare way ahead of time like this, so I would take advantage of it if you're interested.
Yeah, and I am. So let me have mine first, everybody. So we also got the announcement for Donkey Kong Adventure, the Donkey Kong DLC expansion to Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This was at the Ubisoft conference, the briefing, and actually, this is the first year I've watched Ubisoft. I watched it over your shoulder as you were watching it in our Airbnb here in lovely Koreatown. Koreatown, come for the endless construction and the random power outages.
Yeah, there was a power outage this morning.
Yeah, we thought we weren't going to be able to watch the Nintendo conference. I guess we could watch it on your phone, Mitchell, but
this morning, did you hear the woman outside who was talking about the power outage very loudly and angrily?
No, I just heard the air conditioning go off, and I was like, oh, I guess it got cool enough in here.
She was talking to a guy outside, and I didn't hear what the guy said. I think he was less enthused than her. She said, "You left the light on that tractor, and now all the electricity's gone."
The tractor used all of the electricity?
I don't know.
Used it all up.
My pet theory is that she's wrong. My pet theory is that she's mixed her messages.
As I like to say on this episode of The Kongversation, we don't like to be wrong.
No, we don't.
And the tractor theory sounds completely off base to me.
I mean, yeah. Obviously.
That's not the way electricity works. You could have a power surge but I don't think you plug a tractor in to the power supply.
She was mad because she was stuck in the parking lot next to our building. She could not trigger the door to open. The
door that they won't let us in to park.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't let her out this morning.
Well, that's good then. That's
for her.
That's good for us.
For us, okay.
Yeah, because we're parked on the street now next to the shanty town that's forming. So I know times are tough economically, and I would never be flippant enough to disparage the homeless themselves. It's a terrible epidemic in this country, especially in big urban centers like Los Angeles, and people have nowhere to go. People don't have the means to find lodging, so they live on a street in tents and sleeping bags, and it's really heartbreaking. That being said, you don't expect a homeless village to kind of spring up overnight.
Yeah,
outside your window, and
the
on the sidewalk.
The size of it was quite impressive.
Yes,
and the speed at which it was constructed and then taken down.
Yes, yeah. So it's I don't really understand. Like they leave their stuff behind and they just vanish. And so is there some sort of code in this city if you're homeless? Like we watch out for the pirate code and see if we watch out for each other's stuff. We don't take it, or it's here to use as you need it, but nobody actually possesses it. I don't know. It's fascinating to me and depressing at the same time.
Absolutely. Maybe 2 E3s ago, when I was here, there was also a homeless little camp area that sprung up right next to my car, which is where it also sprung up here. It seems that there's some sort of magnetism with my car going on that I would rather not be the case. But you take what you can get, and sometimes what you can get is a lot of homeless people around your car. Again, I don't want to be too flippant, but I really would like a parking space. I really would like to not have to worry about that at E3 in addition to all other things. Really, LA, I think that the cleanest and fastest way to just solve the problem would to give them houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the same page. Great.
Well, yeah, or at least have better homeless shelters that are more caring and open. But it was a shanty town, and being a slightly terrible person I'm trying not to be, I thought this would be an opportunity for me to do a video where I go down into the shanty town and I sing shanties from Sea of Thieves and have a sing-along of Grog Males. but that's just ghoulish.
You know, I'm actually glad that this joke was explained to me in full, because I've never, before you've been using it this week, I've never actually heard the term shantytown.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Ubisoft,
yeah. So Greg Kirkhope was there.
Yeah.
Please, if you see a homeless person, like, I'm serious, like...
See something, say something.
If you have an extra dollar to spare, you know, seriously, it goes a long way. Like, it's rough. It's especially in a place like Los Angeles. It's just, I don't know how people do it. I'm, like, 3 steps away from being homeless myself. If I didn't have a wife...
In the home.
Yeah. No. But like it's perilous sometimes. Like trying to make our budget meet, and it's like, If like I were single, I didn't have a support network, I would easily fall through the cracks. You know, it's oh god. Well, now that I brought ourselves down, let's talk about Donkey Kong Adventure. $20,
$10, $5, $25. It's one of those prices. I don't actually remember.
So the DLC is dropping June 26th. You thought it was going to be shadow dropped.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be shadow dropped. I thought it would be a good opportunity for Ubisoft to... because Ubisoft actually did not have a whole lot. Aside from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which we already knew about because the name leaked on a keychain a few weeks ago. And Just Dance 2019, which is like a sure bet every year. They did not have any new game announcements whatsoever. So I thought just a shadow drop, drop it on the same day you talk about it for Donkey Kong Adventure.
Thanks for explaining, because before, like, you didn't know the term shanty. I did not know the term shadow drop until we started this experience together.
Well, we both taught each other something, and I'm proud of that. But I thought that might be the case. It's not the case, but it is very soon. It might as well have been the case. It's just, 2 weeks out? A week and a half out, something like that. It looks good. Grant Kirkhope did a very good concert with Critical Hit to celebrate it.
Yeah, I knew Grant. I figured Grant Kirkhope was going to be on stage because it's Grant Kirkhope. He did the music for the main game as well, and it's a Donkey Kong expansion. So of course they would get Grant Kirkhope involved. So yeah, Grant Kirkhope came out. He was wearing a red shirt as he always does, but this one had a Rabid Cranky on it, I think.
Yes, it said, it either said, like, don't make me cranky, or I am, it was a pun on the cranky being an adjective as well as a name, in some way. I don't remember the exact wording, but it was something like that. It had Rabid Cranky on it, and I like Rabid Cranky.
I like that we have more merch now for Rabid Cranky than we do Cranky Kong.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Cranky Kong has had, like, an action figure and a miniature figure.
Well, every time you have an 8-bit Donkey Kong.
Well, yes, that's splitting hair. Yeah. So, anyway, this trailer, it showed off a good bit of... The spirit of Donkey Kong Adventure, some of the areas.
Yeah, the spirit's a good way to phrase it, because they didn't show off like a lot of specific stuff, but they showed some slivers of story cutscene, and they gave you the vibe, and the music did a lot to tell you exactly, like, this is Ubisoft's interpretation of Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Island. Take it how you will. I took it very well. I like the way it looks a lot. I think I was thinking about this earlier today, how I think Kirkhope's work on Donkey Kong 64 is very interesting in and of itself, but it kind of seems like the first pass at attempting to go into a style that he didn't make. And it's been so long since David Wise was the dominating force in the music of the Donkey Kong series. I mean, he did just do Tropical Freeze.
I know, I was gonna say, like,
he did just do Tropical Freeze.
I think David Wise is still the dominating
force. At
that
point, he's one of many composers.
Sure, okay.
And now Kirkhope has the floor with the Donkey Kong series, and I think that he does a much better job both using his own style and fitting into the Donkey Kong universe at the same time in this than he did in 64.
Yes, this is a Donkey Kong 64, with the exception of a couple of tracks, it was basically Banjo-Kazooie style music, But, I mean, granted, Grant Kirkhope was basically doing everything in the late 90s for Rare.
Yeah.
He was a fucking machine. So this actually sounded a lot more chameleon-like as far as Grant Kirkhope. If I just listened to this without knowing ahead of time, I might not guess it would be Grant Kirkhope during this music, but it still sounded very, very Donkey Kong-ish. I liked that they had the little stinger for the DK rap. They had Rabid Cranky on the turntables.
Rabid Cranky took it to the fridge.
Yeah. So just a little taste of it to give a little acknowledgement towards that his link with Grant Kirkhope. But the DK Isles medley too.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, I said this on Twitter, I think if any song from Donkey Kong 64 deserves to be in the pantheon of, like, Donkey Kong songs that are always reused, like your Jungle Hijinks, your Bramble, or Sticker Bush Symphony.
Yeah, Aquatic Ambient stuff
Yeah. I think the DK Isles medley is the one song from Donkey Kong 64 that is on that level.
For sure. It's very good. It's a very, very well-constructed melody. You can remix it and put it on any instrument, and it's identifiable. It's great.
Yeah, so the footage itself, I liked it, and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I generally, I liked it. Like, this is more nitpicky, hardcore Donkey Kong nerd shit that I should be beyond at this point, but...
Are you talking about the sharks?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about, basically, it was a little disheartening that despite the fact that we had a rabbit who was personifying Cranky Kong, and maybe a few, like, references like Hellavines, which we already knew about, there's really not a lot in here that's unique to Donkey Kong. It's pretty much Ubisoft doing a generic jungle with their own elements and not really paying homage that much to even the retro games, but, or the Rare games, or it feels like, and this is the little bit of me that gets disheartened by this. Like, I love Tropical Freeze. I think it is right up there, almost, with Donkey Kong Country 2. I think it is a superlative Donkey Kong Country experience. And I like Returns a whole lot, too. I like what Retro's done with it. But I don't like this notion that whenever somebody new, a new developer, gets their hands on Donkey Kong, they have free reign to just reinvent everything about the world as they see fit. I would like a little bit more continuity there. I mean, I can sledgehammer it in. I can make it all work in my head, but I like when they do a Mario game, you're gonna get Mario elements.
Well, actually, I don't know, because I would argue that it is about the same amount connecting to previous Donkey Kong games, specifically like Country 1 and Country Returns, that Mario plus Rabbids as a base game had to do with other Mario games. Like, there was the fact that the hub is Peach's Castle, and I suppose that would be analogous to the fact that in the DLC, the hub is Donkey Kong Island. Beyond that, beyond Peach's Castle, like, you didn't actually have a whole lot of Mario things. Like, the characters you play as are there, and there's Toad and Toadette, and the bad guy is Bowser Jr. But, like, the setting, like, you went to Sherbert Desert, which was, like, this snowy desert hybrid thing.
Okay.
And that's not a thing from a previous thing.
Sherbert Land, I guess.
As a name, Sherbert has been used before, but...
right. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Like, I think it's like
they're building here. I think they're building more than they're referencing, and I like that. I understand that for Donkey Kong, you could use a little more referencing all the time
because we're so starved for it.
Yeah,
in general. Yeah,
but I don't know. I can't get mad at this.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Don't get me wrong. It just, I felt a little disheartened. And I was surprised I felt that way, because usually, like, I don't have an issue with it with Retro's game. I think it's just, we've hit the point where it would be nice to have some fucking fan service again. like in the pay-on era when it was just gratuitous fan service. I don't want to completely go back to that. I like a lot. I like the meaty substance of what we're getting. I just throws a few more bones. That would be nice. But I like the seagull. At first I was like, well, why wasn't that just Squawks? That would have been perfect. But then the seagull got crushed by Rabbit Kong. I was like, well, I'm glad that's not Squawks. So
yeah,
that would have been a dark way. We already saw Mario get assassinated.
Yeah, that reminded
this
me.
Trailer. So
I literally during the Nintendo conference during the Ridley spoilers.
Oh fuck.
yeah, during the Ridley announcement. I said to you, man, I really like that Nintendo's very open to using Mega Man as like their own character in cinematic trailers and stuff like this, and then they just kill Mega Man so hard and so painfully.
It's yeah.
And they're like, oh, never mind. I guess they killed Mega Man.
Right. Well,
maybe they hate him. I don't know.
Cameron brings up a good point, though. We do know, spoilers, that there is some sort of Engard themed item from earlier playthrough footage, so it won't be completely like devoid of references. I realize that was just an overreaction, and I'm sorry, but I'm really looking forward to it. We don't know when the physical gold edition is coming still, do we?
I don't think we do.
I don't think we do, so I can't not get this until that, because, look, I've already...
It would be weird if it was on the same day as the DLC, because...
It's so soon.
And
stores usually have to have a bigger heads up than that.
Yeah.
But I already have to double dip for Yuka on the Switch. I will not double dip on this game, especially when we already have advance warning. So,
well, you have to triple dip for Yuka. You could single dip for Rabbids if you want.
Yeah. I mean, triple dip if you count the Xbox version.
Okay, yeah.
And I still need to get the PlayStation version. Even though I don't have a PlayStation.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Mitchell, I do.
You can, if you want.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your permission. That's all I seek in life. All right, well, that was Monday. Surprisingly, a heavy news day. So, Tuesday, more news than, honestly, Nintendo gave us. Tuesday afternoon. Well, I guess it would be Tuesday afternoon out east. But Tuesday morning here... We got the Nintendo Direct, and did they just forget that they had to do this? It seemed so low energy. It seemed like...
Yeah. It seemed like they made a package for Smash. They made a video package. Like, it was all put together already. The rest of it was like a different production. The rest of it had a low energy to it. A low set of content to it. Yeah, it was meh. There was a new Fire Emblem game that was announced, and it looked...
Which, surprise.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses is what its name is.
It's like, E3, Fire Emblem or Kirby, take your pick. Pick your poison. What's it gonna be?
Yeah, this is the first console Fire Emblem since the Wii, so that's a big deal. And it looked fine. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it yet, because like I feel like games like Fire Emblem, I've liked some Fire Emblem games, but it's entirely dependent on me getting into the story and the mechanics, and that it would be very, very hard to sell me on those things before I could actually play it. Sure. The other thing that wasn't Smash, that Diddy Kong showed up in.
Well, yes, I guess we'll just launch right into that. I was going to talk more about how just weird the whole Nintendo Direct was. Oh yeah, the fact that it started with them just leading into trailer after trailer without any context, and then finally we caught up with like Reggie, like with 2 or 3 trailers in. Mm-hmm. And then they just cut to Reggie, and Reggie, there's this really awkward scene where Reggie like is talking about the Switch and how it's great. There's countless ways to play. 4, you said. Yeah. There are 4 ways to play the Switch.
There are exactly 4 ways to play the Switch.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me, Reggie.
Yeah. By the way, it started with Demon Ex Machina.
Damon
Is it actually pronounced Damon?
Well, it's the
I thought that
Latin
was
word for demon.
Yeah.
It's a different language. I don't know. I don't exactly know how it's
Can't
pronounced.
they just speak American?
Yeah, can't they?
Can't they?
Japanese developer, probably. I think Marvelous. I've been meaning. Okay, I'm gonna look them up. I've been meaning to look them up all day.
Okay, you do that. You look that up in the middle of the podcast we're doing.
Yep.
But this was basically just Transformers with lightsabers. Like I said, this was just designed to get nerds wet. A little hard and wet. Just a little dribble in the underpants. And I don't know. It looked cool. It reminded me of a Super FX game, like in that the colors were very muted and it had that same kind of very angular look to it that, say, your Star Foxes would. But
the art style that it reminded me of was No More Heroes. It had a very like line art, cel shaded, fun kind of thing. Okay, they worked on Harvest Moon.
No.
They're the Harvest Moon folks. For some of Harvest Moon, not all of it.
Okay then. Well.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that they started with that, and you were just like, "Is this supposed to be something I'm aware of?" Is this
oh! Also, No More Heroes.
Okay, but it was like, am I supposed to be aware? Is this a property that like is this right? Because you know me, Mitchell, I'm pretty in the dark when it comes to things that aren't related to my area of interest, which are the Donkey Kong universe and the Beatles, and that's basically it. So. It was fine. And then they did something else. Was it? Oh, and then Reggie appeared and he had this really awkward moment where he walked over to the Switch with like the same like face. It was like
it's like someone paused his face in like an in-between animation frame.
Yes. Yeah, it was almost like he was the death mask of Reggie Fils-Aimé, but he was wearing his own death mask. Anyway, and then he revealed Super Mario Party.
I called this title. I've talked about it before. If you remember me talking about it, please speak up, because I can't remember who I was talking about it with, but I absolutely called it. It's not called Mario Party 11. It's called Super Mario Party. That is the new jump. So this game has like good things in it.
So. It's not playable on the show floor.
It was not playable on the show floor.
So I was completely in the dark all day about it. I just knew Donkey Kong's in it, and as you already gave away, Diddy Kong is in it as well, which completely is surprising to me because I had been led to believe that you wouldn't really be seeing. You might be seeing Donkey Kong show up in Mario games, but Diddy, like, they're going to keep... no, he's there. So...
No, I don't... We've talked about this before. I've never agreed with this. I don't think that they're keeping Donkey Kong and Mario separate.
Maybe in, like, marketing more, but it looks in the games... Yeah. In the games, they're still very much... whenever they feel like showing up. So... Diddy's there, which is surprising because this seems to be a throwback to the original Mario Party, but it's not a reboot of the original Mario Party. It's not a remake.
It's also not entirely like it. It has a mode.
I'm glad it has.
It has at least one where you play a game very similar to like the 3 Nintendo 64 Mario Parties. I'm very excited about that. Just straight up Mario Party. It seems like a lost art form.
And, like, they burned us out on Mario Party very early on. The annual games, like, it was fucking Madden football. And by the time Mario Party 3, like, wrapped up, by the time, beat it or whatever, I was just like, I'm done with this. Like, I don't need any more Mario Party. But then it just kept coming, and it just kept getting sometimes worse. Like, sometimes I welcome the changes if it made, like, single player just a more fun experience. But they tweaked it too much, and they lost sight of what it actually should be.
Yeah, I always try to catch myself if I realize that I'm thinking in terms of, it used to be great, and then it just went downhill from there. But Mario Party, I really do feel strongly that it did. I love 2 and 3 a lot. I played a lot of Mario Party as a kid. and I think it is a very fun game if you have the right setting for it. So when 10 came out for the Wii U, and it was like, it had that weird amiibo-based mode that was just like tiring to actually put the figures on the thing all the time. That was an angle of the game I didn't foresee, it just being tiring to move your arm.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that game we played today where we had to wield the giant chopsticks and make giant novelty ramen in a bowl.
Yeah, Jeff Onan in the chat also points out that 9 and 10 had the vehicle system, which, yes, all of the players move together to get through a board.
Which isn't a board game.
It's a bad board game. Like, the players don't have their own... He's, in his words, it is a departure that removed player agency from the board. It's very far, I can't read it. But, I agree. It did remove player agency from the board. This looks like it gets rid of that. In fact, it might add player agency in other ways, because there's this party system where you can, like, grow your, like, a party, like a role-playing game party. You can pick up characters and, like, add them to your team.
Weird.
Your individual team. Yeah.
So, here's my question, though. Why didn't Nintendo get Andrew WK to sing a raging pro-party song to reveal Super Mario Party? Because the thing is, I was not amped up at all during the Nintendo Direct. It felt like it was like the other night when I couldn't get to sleep and you started telling me which new Pokemon you wanted in Smash Brothers.
I feel like this is entrapment. You asked me which Pokemon do you think is getting in Smash
and
Brothers.
By the time you were done, I was asleep.
That actually happened. This is not a joke.
By the way,
literally fell asleep mid-sentence.
We are staying in a studio apartment right now, so it's not like we are sharing the same bed. Not that there'd be anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, but I'm on the couch, he's got the bed, and...
Seinfeld.
Yeah, so... just in case you weren't clear, we might reference it again. We might say yada, 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 because that old chestnut never gets old.
Yeah, and...
It's something about Sponge-worthy.
Yeah, something about Sponge-worthy.
We'll get into whether Smash Brothers is Sponge-worthy.
No soup for you.
And by Sponge-worthy, I mean a sponge, a vaginal sponge that soaks up semen before it... Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, where were we about Andrew WK? Yeah, so...
He should have been at every press conference.
Yeah, because he was at Bethesda's,
Bethesda
right.
was hogging Andrew WK, and I feel like that's unfair.
I mean, so you got to spread the party around, because it's a party foul to just hog the Andrew WK.
I feel like being the only presentation with the Andrew WK at E3 is like a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. Like, you need to spread the wealth around a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And I feel like, yeah, this was basically Nintendo on Benadryl this morning. They weren't itchy, but good God, they were just like... Basically, they had one foot in their bed. It was weirdly low energy, not to use a Trumpism about Jeb Bush towards Nintendo.
It was very low energy, man. It was casual as hell. It's like it really was just another Direct.
But it had less energy than a normal Direct.
It had about the same as like a middling Direct.
I almost... You would almost half expect them to just, like, film it and, like, Reggie's in his bathrobe. And it's like, what? Oh, okay, we're doing... Okay, yeah. Yeah, come on.
Come on, I got Super Mario Party in the other room.
Yeah, fuck it. Alright, so...
He introduced you to Super Mario Party the way your drunk friend would introduce you to Super Mario Party when they want to play Super Mario Party.
Yeah, complete with the weird facial freezing.
Yeah.
Because my friend suffered from Bell's palsy. Bad attack of it before I came over. So anyway, Bell's palsy is not a joke, people. Neither is homelessness. So.
No, and if you have both, that's just, yeah.
Yeah, so there wasn't really much else before Smash, like... Can you think of it? There's Xenoblade.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got that big DLC expansion. Well, it didn't get it. It announced it. There were a number of things I expected to see that did not appear. You want to talk about those really quick?
No, I don't know.
Super Mario Odyssey, thought it would get a DLC, like, couple of worlds. Did not get that. Yoshi, thought that would show up. Bill Trinan publicly said it's been delayed until 2019.
That was the only time we heard from Bill Trinan today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's tweeted more. He always does. But
I don't know if I expected to see this necessarily, but I did expect maybe just, like, a couple words. And by the way, we're still working on Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, expect more from it in the coming year.
I think they thought we're gonna throw the Metroid fans a huge goddamn bone, and so we don't need to give them Prime 4.
Oh, Red Crested Breagle in the chat says Star Fox Grand Prix. Good point. That was not there.
That was fake.
That was fake.
That was so fake.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I might be wrong about some things, but in that case, I fucking nailed it. That was a bunch of bullshit. I told you. So, yeah.
Fortnite came out and pissed a lot of PlayStation people off. That's not what this podcast is about, though.
No.
And
because I haven't played One Night, Two Night, and Three Night.
Right.
So
you can't jump in now.
No.
And Hollow Knight released today. That's just a very, very good video game.
Is that like Shovel Knight, but he's just empty inside?
A little bit, yeah, actually. Star Fox Grand Prix is not real, guys. It's time to hang up the towel.
No, the only thing Star Fox fans got, besides a surprising reveal in Smash, is the Fox McCloud. We didn't really talk about this. Fox McCloud in whatchamacallit?
Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Right. That's the title. So Ubisoft, again, Ubisoft is really trying to, like, continue their relationship, their working relationship with Nintendo. They had Miyamoto there again.
Yeah.
And it's basically, remember when Donkey Kong was in Skylanders? Hey, you remember this? When Donkey Kong was in Skylanders? Hey, you remember that, Kev? So this is basically that, except a different game.
Yeah. So Davide Soliani, the creative director of Mario plus Rabbids, has gone on record saying in previous, like, interviews and stuff, he would like Ubisoft Milan, that's the specific studio that he works with, to become something of a Rare to modern day Nintendo, like what Rare was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Something that can just put out Nintendo properties and Nintendo exclusive titles, maybe I think the way he worded it was like, while the rest of Ubisoft maybe doesn't need to do that because they'll be working on a different, like, level of power in the console. Like, it's just a different power level. But Starlink is not Ubisoft Milan. So I'm thinking there will be some stuff from Ubisoft really closely tied to Nintendo for a while.
Yeah, I can see it. I could even see them doing a full-fledged Donkey Kong game.
I think Ubisoft Milan would be a great studio for that. They have a history with the Rayman games, and I think in the Wii U era, the only, like, 2D platformer from a AAA studio that rivaled Tropical Freeze was Rayman Legends. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be a great fit.
We could see Squishy the Seagull again.
We could see Squishy the Seagull again. But I want it to be flat this time. Like, the canon. This is a canonically squished seagull. It can't expand back.
Sure. So, yeah, that's I think, all... Well, I know that's all we're going to see from Star Fox this E3, unless they have some weirdo reveal.
I played it.
Starlink?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was so it plays differently than you'd think it would. You'd think, like, controls like a space shooter, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It controls like an action game, like a action, like Bayonetta almost.
Oh,
like there are combos, and there are, like, you move your ship like you would a platforming character. There's a jump button for the ship when it's flying.
That's weird.
It is less weird than you think it is in motion. It's kind of cool, but like, I don't see myself buying multiple ships. I see myself finding out for sure, like, which ship is going to be the best ship.
Yeah.
And then only buying that. And then sticking with it forever. And, like, not expanding my library of toys, which is probably not what they want.
Well, I'm just thinking, though, it's going to be weird because the Toys to Life genre is essentially more abound at the moment. And you said, well, you know, since Skylanders is kind of on hiatus right now and everything else has collapsed inwards on itself, now that they can come in and kind of like clean that up. But I don't know if there's, like, my analogy was, oh, we've already farmed this land and it's like completely just unfarmable. This is a great time to put a farm in.
Well, maybe, but this is a fundamentally different thing, I think. While Amiibo, Skylanders, Lego Dimensions figures, and Disney Infinity figures are all Toys to Life, just like Starlink stuff is, those are all characters.
Yeah.
Those are all figures of characters. While Starlink, there are figures of characters. There's a Fox McCloud figure. The bigger deal is guns and parts and ships.
Sure.
Which is a different style of collecting, I think. Like, there's a different feel to a kid getting a ship versus a kid getting a figure of a guy. I don't know if that's going to translate to, like, a real sales difference.
Well, especially since there's no more Toys R Us to actually sell these things, which is where you would get the bulk of the Toys to Life genre. Like your Walmarts, your Targets, they'll carry some. GameStops will carry some, but the expanse of, like, selection just won't be there.
Yeah. I think it's a cool idea, and it plays neat. And there's, like, a significant amount of dialogue, actually. Like, story dialogue that I think Fox might, like, participate in.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's already way more than Donkey Kong and Skylanders.
We should point out, though, that like Donkey Kong and Skylanders, Fox may be calling on its teammates for help.
Maybe, yeah.
Donkey, of course, had a NPC Diddy who tagged along with them. And we saw other R-Wings, and it's the Star Fox Zero design of Fox, so it's presumably going to be just the originals, Peppy, Slippy, and Falco. No Crystal here.
Maybe. I still think there's a possibility that, like, whether or not that is true, I think there's a possibility that the you guys he was talking to or about were just the other Starlink pilots.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's. I'm just saying possibilities, but
I also like that there's, like, quite a bit of lore for Starlink, and canonically, Fox is still from the Lilat system, so this is very much. It might be set in a different solar system, but this is a Star Fox universe game.
Yeah. Now, whether Lilat Wiki views it as canon is another question. But...
Well, yeah, that's always going to be up to interpretation, but I think it's actually pretty clear. Like, this happens in the same universe as Star Fox. It has to. Like, Star Fox is a very important part of it.
But it's not a game we have to cover, so
if you don't want to, you don't have to, I guess. Until Crystal shows up.
Yeah, until Crystal shows up.
I mean, if Fox and Falco are showing up, there's always a chance for Crystal, because Crystal made an appearance today.
Well, Crystal... I've been viewing Crystal with a sad realization that Crystal is the Venus de Milo of the Star Fox cast, in that she is the... Venus de Milo, the Ninja Turtle, the fifth Ninja Turtle. The fifth, yes, not the, yeah. The fifth Ninja Turtle, who was in the live action mid-90s Saban, Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation show.
Yeah.
And the creators of Ninja Turtles, I think Peter Laird, just loathes this character and refuses to acknowledge her existence. And
well, she had a lot of problems, like, where all the other Ninja Turtles had, like, I'm the domineering one, I'm the lazy one, I'm the one who's, like, book smart. She was like, I'm the girl. And that's a problem.
She was like the mystical one, though.
I don't know.
She's it's been a long time since I've seen an episode of Ninja Turtles.
We should catch up tonight, but
absolutely binge it.
Yeah.
Binge the whole thing.
Well, it's relevant now. So,
yeah, exactly.
To this conversation,
but no, I think, like, Crystal, she's been pushed out. Like, I think there should be a lady on Team Star Fox. I think it's it is 2018, you know. But
well, thanks to Star Fox 2, there are many actually.
okay, but
yeah.
I don't think we'll be getting any. Well, we might. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna get a Star Fox game, but if we do, I think the next one very well could incorporate a lot of legacy characters, both from Star Fox 2 and the trilogy of games after end, including Adventures, and even some of the new whatever things, like the very few new things that happen in Zero. Put them all together. Put them all, consolidate them.
Cameron mentioned that they established on the website that Fox ran into the Starlink folks while trying to chase down Wolfe. So,
cool.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Super Smash Brothers, you just want to get into it.
Let's just fucking do it, because we played it today.
I think Peppy plays very comfortably. I think Peppy the Frog is a very, very good...
Peppy the Frog.
Peppy the Toad.
What the fuck are you...
It's a good video game.
It
looks good.
I thought you were talking about Peppy the hare, not the...
No, it's Peppy the Frog.
The all-right icon, right. So, so this... Okay, so multiple layers here about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I want to be upfront right now.
It sounds wrong every time you say it.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate doesn't sound like a real name.
No, it doesn't.
But I like it.
Yeah, sure. I like it too.
We were afraid it was just going to be called Super Smash Bros.
We were, and I'm very happy that that's not the case.
Because on our lanyards for E3, it just says fucking Super Smash Bros.
I think ultimately I'd still like a fighting word.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I'd still like a fighting word like knockout or something.
Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
That was always our go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But it's good. It's
Super
definitely
Smash
better
Brothers
than it could
slobber
be.
knocker.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say this up front because I know a lot of people have been tweeting on the tweet machine and they've been saying at DK Vine, no K Rool, no Banjo, no Dixie, no Funky.
Dude, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but they've been saying they've been trying to I think maybe find solace in the fact that we're devastated just like a lot of the fans. And I'm gonna be upfront about this, okay? So as I said on the episode you were on before all E3 madness started about Smash Brothers, when it was just that burning cross in the Inkling's eye, and we didn't know much about it. I said, I wasn't gonna let the hype, I wasn't gonna let it bring me down this time, and it hasn't. And honestly, the way they revealed everything, and the focus being on every character from every Smash Brother, every variation, and then some, being in the game, from Donkey and Diddy Kong, to Wolfe, to Solid Snake, to fucking Young Link.
Yeah.
Everybody's in it. Nobody is excluded. The Ice Climbers are back. Everybody's in it. And it was a very gradual reveal to that. And they... the Ice Climbers being in there, I was like, oh yeah, Ice Climbers. And then,
we actually clapped. We both clapped.
Yeah.
We both clapped.
I never thought I would,
for Ice Climbers.
I remember the Ice Climbers were such a weird inclusion in Melee, and I never thought I would be so happy to see them back.
Yeah.
Pokemon Trainer, you lost your fucking mind for that.
Yeah, that was a big deal. From the beginning, from the very first Smash Brothers game, pre-Melee's release, my biggest wants for Smash Brothers have always been Red from Pokemon and Banjo. And we momentarily got Red. He wasn't called Red, but that's fine. And then it was taken away. And the way it was done in Brawl wasn't even super great. There were type advantages.
Yeah.
That so for some reason Mario is good against Ivysaur and weak to Squirtle, and that. No, that doesn't work. And there was a stamina thing that made each of the characters much, much worse if you don't change after a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they've commented on type advantages yet.
My stamina is the same when I don't change.
At least the stamina is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I thought it was just shit what they did in 4, where it was just Charizard. Yeah, just fuck the others.
I mean, clearly Charizard is the most important. Obviously,
I'm a
yes,
Squirtle man,
but...
so Blastoise.
Well, no. I both don't agree with your choice and the fact that it really matters. Because
Fair enough. I respect that.
I mean, Charizard is like the 3 most important Pokemon out of all the Pokemon are Charizard, Pikachu, and Lucario.
Missino, M, and some other pixelated abomination.
Dunsparce. It was borderline fine to just have Charizard. But really bringing them all back, bringing the Pokemon trainer back, bringing alternate Pokemon trainers to the color change thing.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's good. We're happy again.
And then they finally blew the wad. Like the moment of climax was when Snake popped up, and then they just decided to, like, at this point we might as well just tell them every character is returning.
Yeah.
And every character appeared in this trailer. They had everybody in there.
I thought they might one day do something like it's every character, but like Toon Link is Young Link. That's like the same thing,
right.
So they're not exactly there. They didn't do that. It's just all there. Even Pichu, which I have to I thought it was a crime that they removed Pichu from Brawl. Pichu looks very good in this game.
I mean, you mean graphically or just...
Graphically.
Okay, yeah.
Just sexually.
Yeah,
Pichu looks sexually very, very
very
good
fuckable in this game, so long as Pichu consents.
Mm-hmm. Craig Dunkins listens to this show.
Yeah, maybe not broadcast that. I don't want IGN to pick that up. So... so... This, if you're going to do it, if you're going to go light on new character reveals, and if you're just going to come out of the gate, because the meme on DK Vine was Donkey Kong's not going to be in Smash Brothers, or Diddy Kong's not going to, like, the sky is falling, hyperventilating panic.
Yeah.
To just have that taken away and say, everybody gets a car. Oprah's going to be in Smash Brothers. Yeah. This made me happy, and I was satisfied. No matter what else we got, I was going to walk away and say, okay, you know what? Even if we don't get anything, we don't lose anything. And at the end of the day, if I can just break even until tomorrow, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's true. This game is much less about being the next step in Smash Brothers.
It's about the final word in Smash Brothers.
We've had a lot of good things on each of our steps of Smash Brothers, and some of them were thrown aside in order to make stuff for the new game. Right. Especially the last game, where there were 2 games, and they each had things that would have made the other one better.
There were too many compromises made.
Many compromises made to make 2 games at once. Always a bad idea from the start, but maybe not obviously a bad idea until it was too late.
Yeah.
And now none of that's a problem. It's HD and portable because that's the Switch is. I'm trying to think of, like, I thought this might be the case that there would be no cut veterans, but I thought it would be the case because this would be at least like a 25% port where, like, some of the physics engine is carried over, and some of the models are carried over. Like, Link's model changed, but, like, why would Mario's? Why would Donkey Kong's? They're all different. Yeah,
this isn't just the Wii U version with some gloss. Well, there is gloss.
There's a lot of gloss.
Everybody is slathered in what looks like...
Mario looks like he is a Krispy Kreme original.
He does.
Like
he looks like I look in some of these E3 photos inside the Nintendo floor area, because you just look like... They just all look so shiny and glazed with perspiration that it's disgusting, quite honestly. Like, get a fucking shower already. Does Master Hand not provide you fucking showers?
Dude, I needed a shower pretty bad when I came
Oh, yeah, no, we both did. And we saved time, we did it together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, saved water.
Yeah, absolutely. California had a water crisis a short time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but people look good. I like the way the characters look. I think Donkey and Diddy look great in this game. I think they look better than they did in Wii U and 3DS.
I would agree.
Yeah. Wolfe looks like a vampire man.
Wolfe's got some funky polygons in his mouth area that I just didn't like. I thought he was like kind of angular in an unnatural way compared to some of the other character models. But you know
Why
what?
is Funky putting his polygons in Wolfe's mouth area?
There's like 90 characters in this game. It's fine.
Yeah.
One of them looks weird.
Yeah, he looks like a vampire, and that's fine with me. I actually kind of like the way
he's
he
like
looks.
a goth vampire magician.
He looks he looks fairer than you would normally associate Wolfe as. Like he looks almost like Panther Caruso would look.
Mm-hmm.
If Panther Caruso was, 1, remembered, and 2, remembered enough to be a fighting guy.
Yeah, he was like that poet from middle school who always had cigarettes.
Yes, exactly. So it really took the edge off knowing everybody was back, but then it started to dawn on us, there's not going to be a new character reveal. Like, this is it. Are there no new characters? And then you just suddenly fucking got Daisy.
Yeah. Well, we knew Inklings were a thing, so we knew there was at least one new character.
But that was, they had to do that.
Yeah, that could have very well have been just it's everyone who's ever been, plus this bonus one. And yeah, Daisy though. Daisy's in the game, and Daisy's in the video game.
You're blushing right now.
I know.
You've got it bad for Daisy.
I very much enjoyed Daisy. I wrote an article. It's currently online. You can find it. It's called Actually, Daisy is the best Mario character.
All right.
I think I've laid my points out very well and succinctly, and I'm proud of the argument I've made. Daisy's a very good Mario character, and I think that she is unjustly belittled as being Orange Peach sometimes. Although in this game...
An Orange Peach would sound delicious right now.
Right? In this game, though, she kind of is.
She definitely is.
She's an Echo character, which is their new name.
What is an Echo character?
It's their new name for pure clones. We've called Lucina and Dark Pit and Dr. Mario clones in the past. And there's a lot of clones in this game still, but some of them are even extra clones.
Extra.
Some of them are
it's like a Michael Keaton movie in the mid-90s.
Yeah, so there's like all these tiers to clones now, and only one of them is officially recognized, and that's like the most cloney you can be. So Lucina, Dark Pit, and Daisy are all Echo characters of Marth, Pit, and Peach respectively. It means that they all have the same moves, just something about them is different in like a very small way, and it's usually just like one thing.
Yeah.
And I don't actually know what's different with Daisy. I wasn't paying attention.
Right. Yeah. Because you were dancing around the room, like you got excited.
I got out of my chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with Lucina, it's just exactly Marth, jumps the same height, runs the same speed, but she has equally distributed power throughout her sword, where Marth has a lot of power at the tip and not very much at the hilt.
I'm shaking my head because I'm just refraining from making a comment about what you just said.
He's got that power tip.
Yeah.
And Dark Pit has like a different...
It's handy when Pichu's down the clown.
Dark Pit is like maybe even more similar than that, where it's just the side B, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe the standard B that are a little bit different than regular Pits. I really don't know what Daisy's up to in this game. I'll have to look at that after this podcast. But yeah. So like Inkling and Daisy.
Yeah. So after they announced Daisy and the concept of Echo fighters, I was like, well, they're gonna announce Funky right here. Like this.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah. And we kept waiting for it, and it didn't come. And that was a little bit of a letdown because I was like, all right, I'm ready for Funky. They have an opening here where it would just feel natural. Give me Funky, Echo of Donkey. It would be like perfect. like I said, Spinning Kong would be his Tropical Freeze surfboard. Like it has to happen, and I still think it might.
So what's weird is that so now there's 3 Links in this game.
3 Links, yeah.
And regular Link has been updated with Breath of the Wild stuff. So the bomb is now like a remote bomb. It does different. He's got different stuff going on. But Young Link and Toon Link are pretty much the same character.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they not Echo characters? Why is that not? Is it just because they're old? Is it just because like they're an older concept? It's weird. I think the Echo character terminology, they're playing fast and loose with it.
They are, yes.
Like, because there's some things where, like, originally, way back in the day, it started out that Jigglypuff was built on the framework of Kirby. So that's, like, the least clone you can be.
And Luigi and Mario to an extent.
Oh, Luigi's was more so.
Yeah.
But, like, Jigglypuff had a bunch of different moves. And like, by the time the development was over... yeah. Thanks, Godzilla guy. By the time...
reiterate what they said for the people who...
Mitch should stick his tip into someone's dark pit.
Oh, well, that's worthy of saying. That's good, some good wordplay. He's on top of the wordplay tonight. You gotta hand it to him.
Yeah... anyway. Well, so I'm just basically getting at, like, so those are not clones pretty much, even though they have a little bit of cloniness to them. Fox and Falco are very differentiated clones. Like, there's all these levels of clones now. I feel like in order to make this number of characters seem even bigger, they've picked a small amount of clones and saying, no, we understand that these are clones, so it looks like the ones that they didn't tag are less clones than they actually are.
I'm kind of going cross-eyed right now.
Clone.
Yeah. So we'll get into how the game plays now when we actually talk about playing it. So let's just the Ridley reveal. The last.
They saved it for last after detailing like a bunch of mechanical stuff and stages.
Well, and Sakurai even said because it took so much time bringing everybody back, this was our focus. We didn't have much time to do newcomers.
Now,
but
now he apparently said that about Smash 4 as well.
Yeah,
I believe him this time. There really won't be that many.
There won't be that many, but I don't believe this is it.
No.
So there's still hope, people. There is still hope.
It's back. Well, the rumor was that this game was going to launch in September. Now it's December. So that's from 3 months, which would have been like a very, very short amount of time, to a half year.
So now we can get Santa, we can get Krampus,
we can
Baby
get Santa,
Jesus,
Krampus, Banjo, Baby Jesus.
Right. All of not those... Kazooie, just Banjo and Baby Jesus together.
Yeah, in the backpack.
Yeah. That's a game I would pay.
Yeah, I would.
Banjo Christy? Yeah.
Banjo Christy is very good.
Yeah.
So the Ridley trailer, it has Mega Man, Mario, and Samus walking single file down some industrial space bridge. And
like the one Han Solo was murdered in.
Yeah.
In that other Daisy Ridley project. I've already made that joke like 17 times today, so
but not on
the conversation.
Not on recording.
No, there we go.
Yeah, so Ridley is apparently like in this place, but Samus doesn't see him. And then he stabs his tail straight through Mega Man's chest. Canonically murdering our friend Mega Man forever.
This was fucking brutal. I turned to you and I'm like, we both knew it was Ridley right away. Like, it was super obvious because Samus was there, and it was like, well, okay, Ridley. It's Ridley. Mm-hmm. It's like how we knew it was Battletoads right away at the Microsoft briefing.
Yeah.
It is Ridley. If you're plugged in, you know what you're looking for. It's Ridley.
I'll have to watch it again, but I think Sakurai said something to the effect of, like, the language he used was, and this is the character everyone's been asking us for. It's like during the Bethesda conference, Todd Howard ended it by showing Elder Scrolls 6 saying, this is the one people won't stop asking us about, and you can immediately say, oh, well, that's Elder Scrolls 6.
And because they cut to an industrial space bridge and not, say, an ocean with the pirate ship, or, say, the place Shrek lives. What, does he live in a cave or something? What the fuck?
He lives in a swamp. That's the point of the movie, Hyle. Shrek lives in a swamp. How could you do this to me?
He's an ogre. Do ogres necessarily live in swamps?
Have you not seen the movie?
I saw the movie once. They played it to us in school, and it was miserable even then.
He needs to get his swamp back when Lord Farquaad dumps all the fairy tale creatures in it. I'm very mad at you right now, but we can move on.
Your description tells me I hate this movie even more than I thought.
It's a very good Shrek movie.
All right.
Of all the Shrek movies,
it's probably the best.
Yeah, probably. So
they killed Mario too.
They kill Mario a little less aggressively than Mega Man, but still pretty bad.
I could have sworn I saw like blood fly out of Mario though.
Might have been sweat. It's that Mortal Kombat recoloring.
Yeah.
Like Ridley uses his talon to just grab Mario's face and push it against the side of the structure they're in.
He rips the skin off.
Yeah.
The skull is exposed.
Just like Dying Light 2, our favorite video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Samus had to get the water to a sandbag.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a really cool moment where Samus finally turns around, sees Ridley, and Ridley picks up Mario's hat and spins it around on his finger like an asshole.
Like an asshole.
Which I think is good, because someone brought this up in my my Discord channel, or maybe your Discord channel, one of them, and said something to the effect of, like, you always hear that Ridley's this super genius, like, tactical, amazing, smart thing. But you only see him in Metroid as, like, a screeching monster.
Right.
So I think this idea of, like, him like smugly twirling the hat around is a really good balance of still him being a crazy screeching monster, but expressing it in like, oh, this guy's got a personality.
What I would have liked is him ripping the mustache of Mario and then, like, ironically placing it on his upper lip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeff says we're losing fans right now.
I think based on me disparaging Shrek, because apparently Shrek is a modern day classic.
It is, Hyle. It is.
I honestly can never tell when you're being sarcastic.
Shrek is a very good movie. Shrek is a very, very good movie starring my friend Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy, and John Lithgow as Lord Farquaad.
You can't see it right now. I'm Jim Halperding nothing. I'm Jim Halperding the camera that isn't here right now because I just don't understand what's happening.
Jim Halpert would love Shrek.
Jim Halpert would hate you. Well, maybe...
Jim Halpert would love Shrek.
I think later season Jim Halpert, when he becomes a smug dick before he forms his own sports marketing company and becomes an even smugger dick, but at least he has a purpose. That Jim Halpert might like Shrek. But you know what? Early season Jim Halpert, where he's just this lovelorn guy... He would just do this. That was me doing a Jim Halpert face. You just saw it.
Yeah, I guess if you only read out the transcript of this podcast, you would sound correct, because you would say he did a face.
I had to Dwight Schrute your assumptions about Jim Halpert.
Here's how it would actually go down on The Office. Andy Bernard would say, "Yeah, I just don't like Shrek that much," and then Jim would like do a stunned turn and like, wait.
You know,
what do you mean?
Jim Halpert later season Jim Halpert would defend Shrek like the little douchey
any season Jim Halpert would have this exact reaction. He's like, what do you mean Shrek is
when he was with
you have to like Shrek.
When he was with Karen Filippelli, Rashida Jones, they would have both gotten on Shrek's case. I think Pam was a bad influence on him. Alright, so Ridley looks cool. Perfect size.
Yeah.
Are you this disheartened about me and Shrek?
It's a very good movie.
Okay, look. I'm sorry. I'll take it back. I'll just rescind what I've said about Shrek. I honestly don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Shrek. Maybe my heart will be opened up to Shrek one day. But not as a Smash Brothers character. Never as a Smash Brothers character.
Okay. So Ridley is good. I didn't get a whole.
Oh wait, Godzilla guy says, but Andy's the one who gave Aaron a copy of Shrek 2 when Gabe was trying to make her watch horror movies. On point. Very good point.
Well, maybe Andy just loves Shrek 2, but not 1.
Yeah, but Andy's not somebody you want to emulate either. So.
Yeah. I made a bad call with Andy. I know.
What's happening to this podcast?
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. I don't know Ridley's moveset very well because Hyle, as I'm sure you can attest, when you're actually out here, you just get less information.
You do.
Like you guys at home, I know we've played it, but you guys know more than us, for sure, because like there was a steady stream of information coming out all day, and you've accumulated it. I'm sure you watch videos with Ridley. You watched the tournament. We didn't get to do any of that.
I saw Mamechi beat me with Ridley.
Oscar wouldn't like Shrek. It says.
Oscar would hate Shrek.
Oscar would hate Shrek, and he'd be wrong about it, like a pretentious
Michael would like Shrek.
asshole.
Michael would make The Office watch Shrek.
He'd be correct for doing this. It's out of love. He's a dullard, but he rules his office with an iron heart.
What would Daryl Philbin think of Shrek? Please let us know in the live stream chat.
Daryl would love Shrek. Everyone in the office would love Shrek except Oscar, because it's funny when Oscar is wrong. Because he's being pretentious.
Kevin would like Shrek.
Kevin would love Shrek.
But that's not a good thing.
He's very at heart with like the emotional core of himself, because he doesn't have a whole layer of just build up of jadedness that Oscar and maybe, I don't know, Hyle Russell have about a certain animated DreamWorks film.
All right. Look, in your defense and against my point, Ryan Howard would hate Shrek too.
Ryan might hate Shrek.
Yeah. So that's not a good look for me right now.
Yeah, Ryan would prefer like the off-market fake Shrek knockoff from France that he found at like a dollar thrift store. Is like, yeah, I can get. Okay.
Captain Cheesebag says, when Karen Filippelli gets added to Smash, do you think Ann Perkins will be an Echo character? How could they not do that? How could they not do that?
Ann Perkins, I am so happy to see you. Okay, we can't do that anymore. We're
burning night. We're burning night here. We're
burning night lights.
Yeah. It's all going to the tractor.
What do you want to talk about? We got to pick our
tractor is
angles.
sucking power.
We got to pick our angles.
The tractor is sucking up our power. So,
what are our angles? What are we talking about? We can talk about Smash. We can talk about playing Smash.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went to E3. We actually went to E3. We're here right now, and we played Smash. We booked our appointments to play Smash.
We did it
a week ago, and talk about chaos.
Yeah.
So you had a little bit of a better experience than I think Mamechi and I did trying to get into the line.
I had like a strictly fine experience.
Strictly fine.
Nothing went wrong for me.
No. So everything went wrong So let's explain why. Why am I referencing beloved DK Vine Kongversation caller Mamechi? Well, Mamechi came to E3.
He did.
And Mamechi was like, I want to meet up with you. So we're like, yes, we'll meet up. We want to meet up with the Mech. And so we all had the times to play Smash Brothers that corresponded with each other, 3 to 3:45 p.m. And Mitchell, you did the competitive play, the four glory.
Yeah, not for any like choice. I didn't see like when we reconvened after we signed up online. And we said, what did you get? What did you get? We all got 3 o'clock, but then we looked at it closer, and then we all got different categories of, like, game. Yeah. I didn't even see an other option, but I did end up being signed up for the competitive mode, which is items were off except Smash Balls. And that was really the only difference. Except for the fact that competitive mode, like, if you won a round of demos against the people that you were randomly put against, you could earn a hat or a medal, some fun stuff like that. I won one game.
What kind of metal? Like copper, or was it like?
I couldn't see it very well. I don't know.
It's just a piece of metal. Oh, like an Olympic medal.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Should I have clarified?
I was like, is it like sheet metal or like?
Yeah, it was on a ribbon. It came on the actually.
Did you have to cut it yourself?
The same. This is a dumb joke.
What do you want, man? What do you want? All right, I'm still thinking about Office characters in Shrek.
Yeah, I've moved on to. Man. I've moved on to Parks and Rec because Jeff has typed in literally it is literally the way he says that in the TV show Parks and Recreation.
I do think Donkey Kong Universe fans had a better day than Mark Brandanowitz fans. So,
yeah.
I haven't seen a Brandanowitz assist trophy yet, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's as forsaken as K. Rool is, or people think K. Rool is.
Brandanowitz was literally evaporated from the canon of Parks and Recreation.
I actually didn't mind Mark Brandanowitz when they retooled him in the second season. What are we doing? We can't do this.
He is gone from the show. We can't talk about a character who isn't relevant to a TV show that isn't relevant to this podcast. We can't do this anymore.
So you got right in line, though.
I got right in line. I asked around, and they said, hey, just go there. And you and Tony probably could have stayed there. I really don't think they were checking too hard on
So what it was the for fun.
Yeah.
The for fun line.
You and Tony were for fun.
Were for fun. So, by the way, on my ticket it said industry. On his it said like general. It was the same fucking line. There's no reason to differentiate it. So we were trying to go find where this line started. We found where it like went into the actual like Nintendo floor space where you actually were queued up to play the game, but the line to get into the queue, that's the question. So we went around 2 times.
Yeah.
And we got told conflicting things by every hired person Nintendo had to control the fucking line. Nobody knew where the line actually... And at this point, it's you're lining up in the hallway where people are walking back and forth, like exiting Nintendo's floor space.
Yeah.
Trying to just cut across the convention center. There was a human crush of people. You could not move. You could not breathe. The heat index alone was astronomical. It had to be 100 degrees or more.
No, probably not. But
yes,
the humidity...
it had to be.
Okay, yeah, you're
with
right.
With humidity factor, I'm counting the humidity factor. Yeah.
It was really uncomfortable, and I like to go to the E3 show floor dressed in like a button-down shirt and a blazer, and despite liking doing that, it does prove problematic for me every time because I just get very, very sweaty. I'm a big guy. I have that extra layer that doesn't necessarily need any more heat than it's already generating, and I get very, very sweaty very, very fast. It doesn't matter how fresh and clean I am. When I go to the show floor, it breaks bad fast. I had to bring a hairbrush in my bag that I was carrying with me just to make sure that like that wasn't a concern.
Sure.
And it was a concern still.
Yeah. For me, like, I was wearing my DK Vine polo, which I break out for E3, and, like, khaki pants. Mm-hmm. And had it tucked in, had a shirt underneath for the sweating, because I knew I was going to sweat right through it if I didn't have an undershirt on. And I had my Diddy Kong Fangamer Simian Sidekick shirt on as an undershirt. It was brutally hot in that, too. Even though there's a short sleeve, it's still... Tomorrow, shorts and a t-shirt. That's it. If I can just pop that shirt off, I'll just go in a banana hammock, sport Donkey Kong, and keep cool. But
yeah, by the end of the day, I was like seeing other humans, and I was like, I'm so sorry you have to look at me right now.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry
we
that
still
we need
smelled
to be...
fresher than most of the people. You said the line smelled terrible you were in.
The line I was in was smelling terrible, and that
the smells of Smash Brothers. This is why you listen
Yeah.
to this podcast. This is the insider perspective of two people at E3 right now. The stereotype lives up with some of these gamers.
Yeah.
They don't shower. They don't do any of the personal hygiene. So the for fun line, we finally found it. There's a really like awesome woman who was trying to work the lines, and she was like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, come with me.
Nice.
And so Memechi and I followed her. She like figured it out. We basically had to recreate the line, essentially, if I recall. The line was not being formed properly, and so we restructured it. So basically, the For Fun line was supposed to queue up right next to the For Glory line, and they were supposed to be parallel lines, but they had nothing marking this, nothing indicating it, no rope, nothing.
Yeah.
So we basically created a new line from out of nothing.
You know what's very curious about this?
Yes.
Is that there were appointments available from 11 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Like all day. We did the 3 o'clock one.
Yeah.
This should have been figured out hours before.
It will be figured out tomorrow and the third day. They will have it will be like last year. It's controlled chaos the first day, smooth as silk the third day.
My line was fine. There was a rope that we were following. It was just a straightforward line. They took us 4 people at a time. I guess that's just what competitive people are like, Hyle. I don't know what to say. You play for fun, you play for messing up a line.
Yeah, well, we were in the fresh line. And in the line, right behind us, there was a gentleman named Scott. Not Michael Scott, just Scott.
Yeah.
Not Prison Mike, Jeff. I see Jeff and Godzilla Guy are going on a Prison Mike now. We've created a monster. So Scott, turns out Scott reads DK Vine. He follows us. And big Donkey Kong fan. And
yeah, I didn't get to meet him, but you and Tony did, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a really cool guy, and we got to talking. He was like enthusiastic. It was like, you want a K roll in the game, but you know he was fine with it. He thought it looked good, and so we were like, well, let's play together. So it was us 3, Memechi, me, and Scott, and then some other guy. I never got his name. He was just picked for us by Nintendo, the Nintendo representatives there. And when we played, it was just for fun. It was just super casual. You know, no high stakes. I played as Donkey Kong both times. Having DK Vine ringers with me, we got to pick Congo Falls, which is the Congo Jungle stage from Melee.
Yeah, it's the one with like the double-decker rickety bridge.
Yeah, and with where the DK the bastardized version of the DK rap played.
It really makes you wonder what the original construction of this bridge was for. Like, it was built by a person at a point in time. Or a person
by
or Kong.
Yeah. So
it was built by a sentient entity that had some reason for building it.
But it's now called Congo Falls to differentiate it, I think, from the N64 Congo Jungle.
Yeah.
And I love this because in my head, I've always kind of referred to this as Congo Falls. And so, like, this is just one of those things that, you know, it was Smash Brothers who gave us the term Kremlin Crew. And they've given us Congo Falls now, and I love it, and it looks great. It's very much more detailed than it was in Melee, and the claptraps are in the river.
Yes.
So played it. Memechi was Ridley.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and he beat us all. He was very good. Memechi was very good at Smash Brothers. I was not expecting him to be good outside of a duct-based game or a Rhythm Heaven game. And
Ridley's kind of got like a mouth beak like a duck.
That is true. And he had some rhythm, and he sent us all to heaven, so it all adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played a second time. Scott was Donkey Kong. I was Donkey Kong. Memechi was Pac-Man, and Memechi beat us again. So
it was just 3 of you?
Oh no, the four. The fourth guy was like Bowser, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then he was something. I don't know. But we played on the Breath of the Wild stage, the tower.
Yeah, we played on that too.
Yeah.
I
And
like
that was kind of chaotic, but I'm happy to report the game plays wonderfully. It really reminded me, you might disagree, it reminded me a lot more of Melee than Brawl or 4.
Yeah, I do disagree. But I mean, it's definitely like the first time since Melee to make an attempt to do something that was more Melee-esque.
Yeah.
In a way. I think definitely on average it is still very close to Smash 4.
Well, you got Smash Balls, you've got all the extra assist, you got all the extra...
Oh yeah, like items and stuff for sure. But even without that, just the physics system, there's things like the ledge mechanics. Like you can still, if someone's on a ledge, you can just go right after them and force them off by grabbing it. That's exclusive to 4. It's also in Ultimate. There's a lot of weird knockback stuff that it's too specific to really get into here, but like it's I think it wears the fact that it's not currently done on its sleeve a little bit more than I thought it would. I thought that by the time this game showed up at E3, it would be a very, very, very finished product, and I see a lot of like edges where I think they'll continue to work until probably the deadline. Not to say it's bad or that it looks unfinished in like a shoddily made kind of way, but it's just like I can tell that there will be more work put in here and here and
we have
here
till
and
December,
here. Yeah, they have until well, the way it goes gold, probably like October.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all that being said, I think if you're not a hardcore competitive player, which Mitchell here clearly is because he was in that line, I think that the differences will be very minor. It does play the closest to Melee since Melee.
Yeah.
And therefore,
of the 3 games since Melee, it absolutely
I don't need to play exactly.
I
don't need to play it exactly like Melee. I just need something closer to Melee. Because I didn't really have that many issues with Brawl, but it just wasn't as crisp.
Now,
and this is crisp. This is crisp.
Something Melee had, and this is a contentious piece, something Melee had that 4 did not, and it looks like Ultimate may not, is an adventure mode.
Yeah, as much as I'd want this, I think just fixing the fucking game that got broken to the point it was in 4, it's fine. It's my go-to rationalization. It's fine.
I really would like something. I would like something. It doesn't need to be adventure mode or Subspace Emissary 2 or anything in between necessarily. I just think that Melee and Brawl had very, very strong not single player modes, because it's still the most fun to play at your house against another character. But you could do that with your friends or not, and there are avenues for like playing the game for a while, for hours, by yourself, and it's like you're still unlocking stuff, you're still having fun. I'm nervous that the reason that your starting roster starts with 8 characters is because the process of unlocking all the characters in the game is the replacement for a single player story mode.
Yeah, and look, we're never gonna get the Subspace Emissary again.
No, but Melee's adventure mode is less than an hour.
Right.
Something like that. I mean, I know it's still a lot of work to put together.
Yeah.
And I can't just say, why don't you just do that? That's obviously unfair. But just something. A kind of single player experience that would be good. You know what? No, I was gonna say break the targets could return to Melee's form with like character specific target stages.
That might be too hard when there's every single fucking character.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we talked about like how much we love break the targets, but yeah, I'll concede that point when everybody's in it. But
yeah,
they could just reuse the break the targets for the characters that were already in Melee, and then...
those characters are different now, though. It won't work exactly the same.
That's true. Donkey Kong's new Final Smash is inspired by Jungle Beat now.
What is it?
It's just like a flurry of punches in the same way.
Right, yeah.
And,
it's like the barrel at the end of
as much as I would want, like, Rambi or something be his Final Smash, they are very much redesigning the Final Smashes to be quicker and less, like, set pieces.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is one...
I doubt that you're going to have, like... I don't know what Luigi's is yet, but Luigi had, like, that weird Mr. Negative or Mr. L negative zone thing where, like, the music went backwards and he did a strange dance for what felt like 30 years. I don't think that's going to be there anymore.
Bowser is so much quicker because we were fighting against the one guy with Bowser... And he just appeared, and it was just like a boom, 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 and it was done.
I should correct myself just now before they correct me. I think that was already changed for 4. Did Luigi had a vacuum-based Final Smash in 4? And the thing I'm talking about only existed in Brawl? Chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the Final Smashes are there's being a lot of work put into them, which is curious.
Oh, the chat says that was actually Moses' Final Smash in the Office Season 4.
Yeah. It's curious that all this work is being put into Final Smashes because people that play on a tournament level, those are the people that really want balance and fluidity in the game. Do not play with that.
Yeah.
They never will. Like, you could make Final Smashes better. It's never something they're going to prefer doing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But as somebody who appreciates the bells and whistles, but doesn't like it when the bells and whistles become too loud.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This like I actually didn't mind the Final Smashes this time around. I didn't mind any of it. It felt like the balance was finally restored to Smash. Because Smash 4 was just complete fucking utter chaos that was goddamn near unplayable when you have too many people, too much stuff going on. And even then, even when there are only 2. And then there's just the completely stripped down Omega stages. So this felt right to me. And after I was done playing it, I was just thinking, I'm excited for Smash Brothers. Hyle Russell of DK Vine is excited again about a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah, because you want your characters to be in it, right? You want your favorite characters to be in it, but once they're in it, now you just have a game that you feel compelled to buy that could be good or bad.
Right.
And,
but this is beyond good or evil.
I showed Hyle the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil
from last year.
From last year,
it was great.
Yeah, he liked it.
I can't believe I missed it last year.
I'm just saying it looks like a good framework to start putting new things into. I think this game will have a long DLC cycle.
I don't think there's going to be any DLC.
I disagree a lot.
I think Sakurai's dropping the mic in December. He's getting on that Harley. He's riding off into the sunset with Pichu on the back of the seat.
In Dark Pit.
And then there's a heart. There's a heart star wipe.
Yeah, I mean, someone is going to have to take over Smash Brothers after Sakurai. I could imagine, like, he probably has a protege right now. He probably has someone that he would like to take over just for the DLC season. I definitely think there will be DLC for this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a world in which that's not the case. I think the director of ARMS was saying that Springman might be like too recent. He was being coy about like whether or not he knew.
Right.
He could have been deflecting. He could have been telling the truth. If Springman is too recent, you better believe Springman's going to be a DLC character.
Sure.
There are a lot of characters. I could see the protagonist of this new Fire Emblem game coming in spring of next year, being a DLC
I'm rolling my
character.
eyes.
I know, but like, you can't put it in Smash this early, so you have to wait until next year.
I know.
And
well,
you have to put it in Smash. It's Fire Emblem.
can we point out the fact that this is Sakurai's swan song? Very obviously, the end of the road for Sakurai in Smash Brothers. It's called Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
The fact that every character is coming back, it seems solely designed around fixing where people think the franchise went wrong. It's so heavy into fan service thus far.
Yeah, it's just every instance of Smash had a lot of good ideas, and they all seem to be something that the Smash team is thinking about bringing back here. Whether or not they'll be successful, we'll see how it goes when it comes out. But signs are looking great. Signs are looking really good from this perspective. I saw people like talking about like it's not balanced from the tournament. Yeah, dude, it's the first tournament. Like, there's gonna be patches and everything. They need to work on it. Yeah, I'm really excited, but I think the one last thing we need to talk about.
Well, what about Crystal? We didn't talk about Crystal.
Okay, there's more things we need to talk about.
Crystal is the assist. Crystal is in as an assist trophy, and she's in her Star Fox Adventures like tribal, scantily clad outfit with her staff.
Yeah.
So that's a huge shock. Venus de Milo of Star Fox does get referenced, even though Fox is now in his Zero gear. Crystal's in it in her adventures motif. A decade ago, I really wanted Crystal in Smash Brothers. At this point, I realized it's such a weird long shot that this is enough for me. I'm happy that I finally have an assist trophy. I will be happy to see.
Yeah. So a lot of the new assist trophies that we've seen are very commonly requested characters.
Yeah.
So the Emily Rogers, very famed and consistent leaker. She has leaked some things that some people think are wrong that I happen to know were just canceled.
Yeah.
So, like, she's very good. You can usually trust her. She said that the Smash ballot was a really, really important source of inspiration for all the stuff in this game. So, I mean, like, Ridley and maybe Daisy could have been results of that.
Because you just voted for Daisy every day.
I voted for Banjo. Don't be silly.
All right.
But
Banjo and Jesus.
Banjo, Jesus.
Maybe Jesus.
And maybe Shovel Knight before I
'Cause
remembered Banjo exists.
You can't fit adult Jesus in the backpack.
I think there was actually like a day when that first came out and I was like, ooh, I'm so excited. I'm going to vote. But then I didn't like think about it and I voted for Shovel Knight and like I want Shovel Knight in the game. But then I thought about it an hour later, and I was like, wait, I have a go-to for this that I just forgot about. And I voted again as Banjo, and I may have disqualified both votes, because that should be how that works. But, yeah. Anyway, I was going to try to say, Ridley, very clearly a Smash ballot choice. Inklings were actually very popular, even though that might not matter.
It doesn't matter.
A lot of the new assist trophies, so Knuckles, very popular Sonic character, is now an assist trophy. Succoupon is an NES fighting game character that is a, like, very clear retro character, so I could see why it would get some votes. It's now an assist trophy. Crystal is now an assist trophy. It probably also did well enough in the ballot. Okay, so prediction time for other characters. Shadow is, because we don't see Shadow as an assist trophy, and Knuckles is an assist trophy. People are saying like, oh, well, that means that Shadow is probably going to be a character.
Do you think they'll shadow drop Shadow?
They'll shadow drop Shadow if he's DLC.
Yeah.
and he'll likely be an Echo character.
Right. I could see
Sonic.
a lot of Echo characters since they have this mechanism now to be blatant about it.
Blatant laziness. You don't need to differentiate your clones anymore.
Right. It's like when we do an episode of The Kongversation, and it's just like it's called it's The Kongversation. It's going to be just complete horse shit. You're welcome. Okay. Do you think Shadow? So should I go now?
Yeah, go.
I already said Funky Kong.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
So Samus's Dark Samus, like, look-alike coloring scheme has been removed.
Okay.
So Dark Samus from the Metroid Prime series, probably an Echo character.
Sure. Dark Link.
As an Echo character?
Yeah.
Fourth Link?
Why not?
4 swords. Ooh, that's a Zelda thing. In the chat they say, what about Tails? What about Tails? Oh, snap! Got your Tails insulted. I don't know, maybe.
Later, yeah. Well, what about the big ones that people are upset about?
Bomberman?
Well, the Washington Post is upset about Waluigi.
Yeah, I love that. The Washington Post put out a whole article saying Nintendo was mean to me, or mean to Waluigi. Nintendo was mean to me, Waluigi.
Yeah.
This Washington Post article has been written by Waluigi, and the picture they've included with it was just like a sad Waluigi toy thrown to the ground.
Which I like to imagine they had to run out and buy just to throw on the ground.
Yeah, like, on the one hand, this is clearly the biggest, most obvious example ever of some other person got something they want. Why didn't I get what I want?
Yeah.
But also, I think it's probably justified. Waluigi is clearly a bigger icon than Daisy. Like, that Waluigi made it, or that Waluigi did not make it while Daisy did, is amazing. Like, that's crazy.
But Daisy's been in more actual Mario games than Waluigi has, as far as
by a count of 1.
Super Mario Land.
Right.
Yeah. If we're counting just like platformers.
She's been in 1 while he's been in 0.
He's been in 0. Even the Wario series will not acknowledge Waluigi. So, I mean, yeah. I would say they're about even, so, but anyway. But what about K. Rool? What about Dixie? What about Banjo? What about Kazooie? Not Banjo Christy. What about, I don't know, like, the ones people, especially in the DK Vine world, hunger for.
So, Ridley changed the game, I think.
You think?
I think...
You don't think they had to pick one and they picked Ridley, leaving us in the dust?
No. No, I don't. I think that Ridley is a very different kind of character. Ridley is an interesting character to pick for, like... It's clearly just... In Smash 4, I think there was a lot of... Sakurai was fine. Okay, building up 1 Melee and Brawl. Sakurai just got the core team, the base roster assembled, pretty much. In 4, he was like, okay, now I'm at a point where I can wheel and deal, make some bigger third-party acquisitions, get some characters that, like, I want personally, and just, like, I'm just getting some stuff.
Right.
And I think that showed with characters like Palutena, Dark Pit being one of the first. Yeah, Cloud totally. Bayonetta, like that was a clear, to me at least, representation of his design philosophy in that game. And in this game, the newcomers so far are the Inklings and Ridley.
Right.
Those are both Nintendo All-Stars by, like, every degree.
Well, Ridley has grown in stature, but he's mostly been, like, fan-supported here.
They're very fan-supported. They're very, like, central to an important thing in Nintendo. I think all of those qualities are good and exciting. And they paved the way for good new additions past this. Not everything that I'll necessarily be interested in, but, like, this morning I was thinking, I said to you, Captain Toad.
And I said, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and that was my prediction. And then before they actually got to Smash Brothers, I added that Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because that happened and sold well, I thought they would be in it. And now, I don't. Now I was thinking in Smash 4 terms for characters.
You were. I was.
Yeah. And I think it would make sense to. Now I'm thinking in Smash Ultimate terms. They're different terms. It's a different situation. I think K. Rool, very likely to show up in this game.
You know what? Okay. So I think it's definitely more possible than it was yesterday. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ridley, you're right. Ridley does change the percent. I know people are down and they feel like there's no hope for K. Rool. Like this is it.
No, man.
This is just E3. This is just E3. E3 is not the end of the news cycle. It's the beginning. If we got Ridley, who's always been justified as not being workable for whatever reason, and they found a way to make him work. And K. Rool, despite what we might think about Sakurai's preferences, about what this, that, the other, K. Rool clearly did very well in the Smash ballot. In fact, they tried to placate us with that Mii costume.
Yeah.
That says they could have just ignored it completely. They didn't.
So Godzilla Guy brings up a good thing in the chat. You have to stop it, Godzilla Guy.
Yeah.
Because you keep...
Let Rodan have his turn.
Yeah. Sakurai apparently said this, and this is one of those things that we miss, but I've heard this from multiple people, that Sakurai said that Ridley was added specifically because of an overwhelming fan support, a base of fan support, that he just could no longer ignore. And if you go back to how big he made Ridley in Subspace Emissary, or as a boss to a stage in Smash 4, I think that comes across. Because he has a very strong, specific idea of how he views the character Ridley. And it's a very big dragon. And in this game, it is not that big.
No.
Ridley, I don't even think is bigger than Bowser. It's about the same size. About the same size as Bowser.
Because I was fighting both a Bowser and a Ridley. So, yeah. Ridley, actually, with the wings, might seem a little bit bigger.
I was playing as Ness, and Ness is I can't read your stuff, Jeff. Your stuff is hard to read.
Jeff, you're trying to get us off topic again. Jeff, you're trying to get us to talk about The Office again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very anti-Sakurai's established view of Ridley.
It is.
And he did it for the fans.
And that seems... What this tells me is Smash 4, Sakurai was having the physical problems, physicality problems with his hands. Allegedly, that's what we heard.
According to him, that's... Yeah,
But he seemed bitter during that time.
He did. He seemed overworked, and I'm sure he's very overworked with this one as well.
He had to make two consecutive... Not consecutive, side-by-side, simultaneous games.
I'm sure he's working incredibly hard for this one. He was just doing double.
This seems more like a victory lap to me. This seems like...
No, dude, he's not... This is not a victory lap.
No, he's still working very hard. It seems to me, though, he is purposely taking this as a victory lap. I'm going to enjoy this. This is my last hurrah.
Oh, okay.
And I want to make... I don't want to leave any stone left unturned. I want the fans to come out of this saying, Smash Brothers, Sakurai, fuck yeah, what a ride. And so to me that says K. Rool has a very good chance now. I'm not saying he's going to be in it. I could go either way, but I have faith where I had no faith before. I have hope where I had no hope before.
So...
I have hope in many things.
As is the case, as is tradition, I think some of the ways he's attempted to appeal to competitive players have maybe missed the mark a little bit, despite his best efforts.
Right.
That said, this time, that was a goal from the very beginning, apparently. It seems very much the case that it was meant to be a faster video game from the beginning, a faster fighting game from the beginning. It was... with the Melee players and the Wii U players at this tournament that happened today, that he gained a lot of insight of how to balance the game and how to adjust the physics system before launch. And I think he will. I think he'll take it to heart. I think that he's designing this game to like leave the Smash series. Because if your last one is Wii U and 3DS, even if you really, really like it, even if you think that like that's your favorite Smash game, you don't have one game that you can pull up and say, this is my best work. You have two games, like, you got to pick between, right?
Right.
With Ultimate, you can do that. You can say, this one game has everything I've ever done in it, and it's my best work.
Yeah. And you feel good about yourself.
You can feel good about yourself, and you add stuff that just make all the sense in the world to finally get around to doing.
Yeah.
Like Ridley, like Inklings.
Yeah.
I guess Daisy.
Don't sell your character short. All right. Well,
my character is Pokemon Trainer. I'm not that into Daisy.
And my character is Diddy, so and I couldn't play as Diddy today. But
should we talk about other DKU characters? We talked about Funky.
Yeah.
And we talked about K. Rool.
Yeah.
I think Banjo is happening.
You do.
I do. I think Banjo is happening. It's exactly the same kind of desired character as Ridley. It really falls into that same, like, formula.
Yeah. Nintendo would have to play ball.
Nintendo's playing ball with companies that it doesn't seem to want to play ball with at all. With Konami.
Yeah. Why aren't they playing ball with Ken Griffey Jr.? Where's Ken Griffey Jr.?
Ken Griffey Jr. can be an assist trophy for Banjo.
For Banjo.
Yeah, they're both Rare.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. was created by Rare in a test tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in 1995. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Dixie, it would be a shame if Dixie was not in it. She deserves it. But I would say the same thing about Cranky. Cranky absolutely deserves it. But we know Cranky's in the background of Jungle Japes.
Well, it can be like that one Spirit Tracks stage where Alfonso takes over for Toon Link if Toon Link's actually playing on it.
So it's a Wrinkly's ghost or something? Like, woo.
No, it's just Alfonso again.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. It could be Rabid Cranky.
It can be Rabbit Alfonso.
It could be David Wallace. Am I right, Jeff?
Yeah.
David Wallace from Off The Office could be in there with his Suck It machine. Yeah, I don't know. I would say don't give up hope. Do not give up hope, people. Like, and at the very least, if we don't get anything, we didn't lose anything. We have more now than we did before.
What we have now is opportunity.
Opportunity.
We have opportunity to put characters that are of a different variety that normally get in this game into a game that I respect more.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we do have more to talk about, but we are going to do an E3 wrap-up episode next week, as we always do. We had experiences with Rare today.
Yeah,
quite some lovely experiences with Rare, as we always do.
Yeah,
we tried out some other things on the show floor. I played VR for the first time, like straight up VR, and made a damn fool of myself. But it was a good time, and I want to relay that. This is stuff that I think would be better served, including our adventures with Memechi.
Yeah.
I think this would be better served for the wrap-up episode. So,
fair enough,
to wrap up this episode, you mentioned, like, we both talked about this is probably Sakurai's last hurrah with Smash Brothers. Protege-wise, do you think anybody could pick it up next for Smash 6 on the Switch 2, the Switch U?
I mean, I wouldn't know their name, but probably someone from Namco.
When I think replacements for icons, I think of one man, D'Angelo Vickers. You heard it here first. And last.
He screamed into a cake.
He did. He ate that fucking cake with his hands.
That's all I remember about that character.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.